America.
J-Rip on the mix.
America. America.
Now, we're here at Club Sizzle. I mean, this is an episode of Bridge. I'm bringing it to you. I'm James Green. Y'all should already know who I am right now. You know what I mean? But this right here, this beautiful black woman right here. Hey, you beautiful. You know what I mean? So what is your name and what brings you? What would you bring to the gift?
Okay, well, my name is Ertha. I'm a longtime resident of Baltimore City. I bring solutions and opportunities. I have an organization called Tight Knit. Tight Knit is about developing relationships because I believe that one of the things that we do, we're so busy we don't know each other.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you're talking about the mindset, everybody has their own experience and their own journey. So it's an opportunity for me to say, but if we would tighten up, if we really would take the time to really look at each other and figure out what resources that I can help you with and you can help me with. And it's even as simple as somebody like you, the reason why I came, you invited. So a lot of people don't understand that just showing up is half the battle. Because we don't show up, but we run to any other thing, but we don't run to things that people say, hey, I'm inviting you.
Yeah.
You go to something that you weren't invited to, and you go up there. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna argue about point. They down City Hall now, right? City Hall is supposed to be having a hearing today, talking about bars and clubs and lounges and whether that's a good thing or bad thing. And when you go down there, you actually have to sign up to talk and give your point of view.
Okay.
And the reason why they tell you to sign up and talk and give your point of view because they don't want to really hear your point of view.
True that.
So they say, okay, well, so when we're talking about solutions and opportunities, I like to just dialogue because there's no reason having a society of people who don't know how to survive.
Yeah. That's
all we're dialoguing about. It's not even to get upset. Remember we was talking earlier about who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
The real conversation is who's going to survive and who's not. Because if you're a professor and all your knowledge and all your greatness, you don't make it past this door. Yeah. And I'm a street person and I know how to, do karate chops. I got a gun on me and shoot the guy and I get past the door. Yeah. So what difference make it all that educated if you didn't survive?
Definitely.
Right? So if we're all struggling for understanding the universe and understanding the mechanism of survival, then let's just start from that conversation. Say like, okay, how are you going to make it for your next moment in your next year, your next day, your next decade? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Whether you're here in this lounge, out in the wilderness, what you traveled across the world, it's about survival.
Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. Black folks had looked at the gang wars. There was a lot of, violence and, so-called black on black crime.
Lack of education, lack of proper health.
380 murders a year that were happening in the city, and most of those people were black men. So you had this frustration going on in the streets. You have people who are aspiring to grow, but at the same time you have people who are trapped in a cycle. And I think everybody was looking for an answer. They were looking for a way to plug in and make change happen.
You could either sit in jail and be warehoused for 6 to 8 months, or they say, look, you take this felony, I'll let you out today. And that's what they were doing. They were warehousing people until they said uncle. And even those who wanted to fight for their rights, they would come out and accept these felonies because their lives were destroyed. They had families, they had children that they needed to take care of. And even though their life was going to be more difficult because they're saddled with this felony for something that they did not do, they were willing to accept it because they needed to get back into the community.
So if you knew I just did commemoration Million Man March.
Yeah, I seen the
So the philosophy with that is that, remember I said we're gonna argue about something, right?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 48.
Okay, so you know that for a fact, an event happened called the Million Man March. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But why we ain't talking about it? But we're talking about Jesus. We talk about all the stuff that you don't even know for a fact, because you wasn't even there. You didn't even experience. You don't even have no real thing to argue about, but yet you're going to tell me about something that I just told you. If you was alive in 1995 in October, you saw something that where people would even say there was a miracle.
Yeah,
right?
true that. Yes,
right?
definitely.
So what I'm saying, if you personally saw it, if you personally experienced, then that should be your story.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes,
of something
That's
out of body
yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
right? Because we can talk about our everyday experience, but the out of body experience is something that you in your lifetime. What? There was a million brothers and nothing happened, and everybody, you know, the stories that brother tell. But did you actually go to the march at 99?
No. Oh, I'm so mad that I in my mind I came up with an excuse not to go, and I was supposed to have been going.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, but see, at that time I was in the life of crime.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
How old you say you are now?
48.
So minus 23.
Yeah, I was like 25.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this is what meant, that's why you got to study that moment.
Yeah.
So, like you said, and I'm making.
But I watched it on the news. I mean, I watched it on television. I just wasn't there, which it left a hole. It still leaves, every time they talk about the Million Man March, it leaves a hole because I'm still thinking like I was supposed to be there. But for whatever reason.
Let's go back to that. That's when I talk about solutions. So not only it left a hole for you, it left a hole for everybody. That's why we ain't talking about it. So the people that didn't go don't want to talk about it because they don't remind themselves that they went. The guys that did go don't want to talk about it because they feel like nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. So you got these psychic things going on in our brains because you had something that you know for a fact that happened that you didn't even talking about. That was a grand thing. So the reason why I get so passionate about it because I helped organize it. Like you said, some sisters. So we organized it. I played a significant part in what we call the Baltimore Organizing Committee. Okay. The reason why I did that is because it was an infrastructure coming out of the gentleman named Ben Chavis. So the two head people were Ben Chavis and Minister Farrakhan. Yeah. So historically, Ben Chavis was president of the NAACP, right? Well, Ben Chavis invited Minister Farrakhan to one of those summits that he was doing when he was pulling all the leaders. Yeah, so at that climate time, Minister Farrakhan wasn't looked on, even as black people, as a positive person, because he was more like a radical type of person, right? Meanwhile, you have the people that's more like Jesse Jackson and all of those L. Sharpton, they was on a Martin Luther King mindset. Yeah. So one of the brothers in the documentary tells the story that when Minister Farrakhan was invited to the 30-year anniversary of the March on Washington, people uninvited him and did not want him to speak. Some of the people argued the whole factor that he should speak because he was a prominent person at that time and that moment that a lot of especially black men looked up to. They even said that he came to Washington, D.C., was in his car waiting for those guys to say, hey, we're going to let you speak. Wow. At the 30-year anniversary. But if you think about studying history, because I wasn't at the 30th anniversary either, but because Martin Luther King supposedly represented nonviolence, I could see why they was kind of, I'm not going to let you speak. So anyway, he didn't speak. Now moving forward, Kwesi Nkrumah, he throws a panel and he has got a couple of people. And he has Minister Farrakhan, Ben Chavis, Cornel West, and all these guys on the panel. Right. So they on the panel talking, so somehow they get into discussion, and Ben Chavis apologizes to Minister Farrakhan for not being allowed to speak that day. Wow. Right? Yeah. So, like anything, you said, I apologize, and you say, oh, it was a mistake that we didn't allow you to speak. They said Minister Farrakhan said something like, no, it was not a mistake. It was an error on your part because you guys was the Negro people got together.
They called them out.
So if you think fast forward, then Ben Chavis is now president of the NAACP. So when he had an opportunity to invite speakers to his forum, to me he made amends because he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be one that I'm gonna invite you. I ain't scared. I'm gonna invite you." But then it also showed you who was in control of the NAACP. Now, I don't study that much, but I just hear stuff that people tell me. So now they found out the NAACP was really Jewish. So of course the Jews is like, oh, don't you do that. So Ben Chavis thinking like most people. But most people like you thinking you in a position because you're in a position. So he's like, oh, they ain't gonna tell me what to do. So he brings them, and then what happened? Then they kick him out. So that's how I think the Chavis and Minister Farrakhan.
The science behind that,
Right,
okay.
yeah, so they came into a relationship together because they're like, oh, we're gonna show them. They kick you out, so we'll formulate together, and so they organized this Million Man March. Now, the other thing that I want people to understand about the Million Man March and the philosophy of the Million Man March, when people say what came out of the Million Man March, just like I showed up tonight, right? Yeah. You can't tell me, oh, well, when we left here, we done it. No, I was something before I came here. Yeah. Now that I'm here, I may be doing something that this ain't gonna go out. Same thing happened to these men. So you had a bunch of men that showed up in the mall. You had millions of men that showed up in the mall. Yeah. So stop asking me what came out of it. What came out of this? One of those men, five. Yeah. And then talk to those guys individually. So we're creating the documentary so people can tell their stories. And then this is why you get to tell your story. Because it's not really about anybody that was physically on the mall. Yeah. It's about somebody that was physically alive and breathing. You still was a part of the Million March, right? So you have your story to tell. Because just like they tell the stories in the Bible, right? Yeah. Everybody wasn't there in the manger when Jesus was born. Oh, no. But everybody in the whole world was talking about it. Yeah, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying, you should tell your story. You should say, this is why I didn't do it. I was in life of crime or whatever. This is, and every time I think about it or I saw it, why? Because now that we understand how we should, just like you got this, we document thing, it's not for us. Yeah. Now it's for your great grandchildren who come by who will pull up this video or pull up anything that they find up there that you did and start reading that like we read other stuff, like we read stones that we find in caves. So we read all this sort of because we're going out there and we're finding all these markings that people have left that try to give us some information or whatever. So we got to learn that we're at the stage of our game now too. So document everything, tell your story. And then, like you said, when you're talking about whether we have an opportunity, I think people fight too hard for what they don't make simple. The simple point is finding out yourself. That's why you didn't go to the march. If you're so busy doing something and you didn't do busy just doing you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So even if, don't care what we are, like I said, whether you're a professor, doctor, whether you're a criminal, right? Yeah. It doesn't make you, you made it. Yeah. So when people decide to go back and choose whichever does already, you're still gonna make it. It don't make you. That's right. But the way we organize in society, we tell you that everything makes you. Right. Yeah. So then you go and you have this. Mind environment. Right. Yeah. Right. So you have this mindset that okay, all this stuff is affecting me. Mm-hmm. But you should turn it around and say, I'm affecting all this stuff. And that's what I constantly tell. I was like, we're not products of the environment. As a child, you're a product of the environment because as a child, you're a sponge. So you take it in and gathering a whole bunch of information from your five senses. You just, you know what I mean, what you breathe, what you smell, what you taste, what you see, what you hear. You know what I mean? But when you become an adult, then you are removed out of that environment and you placed into another environment. You will make that environment around you. So that environment is not necessarily making you. You make that environment. Like me coming out into the Harford County area from Baltimore City, I brought a lot of the city BS, you know what I mean? Because that's how I felt comfortable, you know, even though I was in a much more laid back spot, I still yearned for the feeling, the flow, the energy of the city, you know, the flavor of the city. So a lot of things that now I understand who I am, what my purpose is, and things of that nature. I always tell adults that you dictate your environment now. The energy that you give up, if you are changed or morphed by the environment that's around you, then you are a weak-minded person. Well, that's true, and most of us are because, like I said, go back to that child scenario. So now the child is really molded, unfortunately, by that adult person. Yeah. So you just told me, hey, we adults ain't together, so then we get children, they ain't gonna be together. So the reason why most of our youth are not affected is because we're not affected. True.
I love the fact that right here I'm sitting next to someone who a friend of mine put me on to. You know what I mean? A friend that happened to be incarcerated at this particular time. He called me and said, yo, you need to talk to this person that's sitting to my right. And it's my honor just talking to him, prior to us going on the camera, but I want to make sure that I express my humbleness, you know what I'm saying, being in your presence and shit. But I want you to introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do.
My name is Jimmy Mitchell. I'm a community school coordinator here at Arlington Elementary Middle School. I've been in this capacity for about 7 years. Prior to that, I was a long-term substitute teacher here at the school.
Okay. Yeah. So you're a long-time resident of Baltimore? You from Baltimore?
I grew up in South Carolina, but after high school, I attended Morgan, graduated from Morgan, worked for some of the largest corporations in America, in the world, IBM and Lockheed Martin, as a computer programmer. Got halfway through my master's right around 9/11 in 2001. Got laid off, and just everybody was telling me I was overqualified.
Yeah.
Halfway through a master's in management at an Ivy League school at
What was the Ivy League school?
University of Pennsylvania, the Wharton School of Business.
Oh, so
And,
don't skip over that. Hold up. Is that the same one that Donald Trump wrote?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you were up in the school where Donald Trump, El Presidente, is raised from. Okay, in touts. So you had an incredible amount of academic intelligence. You know what I mean? And the fact that I'm being told that you are pouring it in our communities, the elevators. You know what I mean? And the beauty about it is that it's a gem that's not even hidden. He's in plain sight. And we can take advantage of the fact that there's someone here that can help us go further, go on, go beyond what the limitations that we put on our children.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, because you talk about your resume, and I'm just sitting here just like, wow, I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks. Magnum cum laude. So I definitely understand what it takes to be able to ingest the information that's around you. Now you point it back out. And what made you feel compelled to do it with the kids? You could have kept it to yourself and monetized it for yourself.
Absolutely. I first came here, I guess now, almost 10 years ago. And I was a long-term substitute teacher, as I mentioned, in between jobs. And I said I would just do this one assignment and then move on.
Yeah.
But I came here, I saw a lot of opportunity in the school. I saw a lot of opportunity in our students, our children. Yeah. I saw a lot of basically doubt and disbelief in themselves.
Yeah. Wow.
Meaning that when I would ask students, and these be older students, middle school students, what were their aspirations? What did they want to become? Mm-hmm. Oh, Mr. Mitchell, you can't become nothing here in Park Heights. And I would explain to them that there were people in the community that owned 30 homes.
Yeah.
They didn't drive around in no Mercedes, didn't have all this bling bling, but they were sharp investors.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to them what an investor was.
Yeah.
The only thing they knew was negative occupations, negative outcomes. Everything was instant gratification and either, Mr. Mitchell, I could never become that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, one of the students you saw as you came in, a middle school student, his aspiration is to go to Poly and become an engineer. And he has the brain power.
Sad.
And
what's going on, friend?
That's what I saw, these little sprinkles, these little peppers of kids with a lot of potential.
Wow.
I actually, at one point in this position as community school coordinator, I had Johns Hopkins come here and test our kids for their gifted and talented program. This is something done citywide. In this area, they normally test them at Poly, and the benefits of it is that if you pass the test, you get into gifted and talented program. As a middle school, high school student, you go away in the summer to a college. You select a curriculum of your choice. During the school year, you take online courses. And of course, when you apply to college, you get to put this on your resume. So it's a very prominent program, a lot of benefits. What is viewed as a low-functioning school, they do have some diamonds. And my job is to polish the diamonds. You know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And, that,
and we have many stories like that. I've seen the school grow over the last 6 or 7 years from 475 to just about 600 students. We were the only school in Park Heights that had an increase in enrollment over the last 5 or 6 years.
Wow. And just from what I glimpsed at just coming through, and you know when I met the dude that's the behavioral specialist,
behavior specialist.
Yo, they don't have school counselors no more. They have behavioral specialists. You know what I mean? When I stepped in there, they had at least, 10, 12 little young men sitting out there on the road. And he pointed to me, he was like, these are the ones who ate. These are the ones. And I'm just like sitting there, and I got upset because they actually came at this man real disrespectful. And I'm like a visitor ready to jump on somebody's kids, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't take kindly to that level of disrespect. And it wasn't like they cussed at him or anything like that, but they really didn't understand who they were talking to. The type of things that he's sacrificing to help actually build them up. And they probably be the ones that be superstars if they, I was saying, channel their aggression.
Right.
If they put it in a positive spot, you know what I mean, they can become dominant. That's why I said I love defiance, but it has to be controlled. You know what I mean?
Control power. You love power, it needs to be controlled and harnessed.
Yeah, because if electricity wasn't controlled, you know what I mean, it would destroy everything within its path. Right. You know what I'm saying? So those children right now, they are uncontrolled electricity.
Oh yeah. So, and I sort of view my role in the same fashion.
Yeah.
I'm here to give them that little nudge or push that could possibly redirect their entire life.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, what is the most contentious part of the job?
Probably what you were alluding to. That is getting the students, and mainly the older ones, to understand the opportunities that they're basically wasting.
Yeah.
So you can't be so hard.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the world is hard on.
Yeah.
So they need to see some understanding, some positive direction from somebody.
Yeah.
You notice I didn't come off to them the way they were coming off to me.
Yeah. I would have gave you right back.
Right. Because that's what they feed into.
Talking to.
Right. I didn't even deal with that issue. I have higher expectations of them.
Yeah.
Definitely the young man that plans to go to poly. We got some that plan to go to other schools here. They're all 8th graders, so they're starting to think about high school. And I'm starting to have conversations, as you can tell, with them about high school choices and their career choices. As I mentioned before, I've had very large summer youth work program because my job is a 12-month job. So in the summer, I encourage them, and even the ones that don't come here as a work site, I try to make sure everyone fills out an application. I've seen it go from 2 or 3 applying for summer jobs to maybe 30.
Wow.
Last year, I even had students that had graduated who were like sophomores and juniors in high school coming to me to make sure they got their paperwork in, and I have placed them in a job. Because you not only have to get accepted in a program, you have to get a work site. And another achievement, we have a very large food pantry. At one point, maybe 4 years ago, we were at 500 per week. And one of the largest school food pantries in Baltimore. I also, and I mention that because the job is not only for the students here, it's for the community as well.
Yeah.
And so it's a community-wide food pantry. I also refer people to the housing program. My largest referral for a housing grant. These are grants that you can get your home renovated.
Wow.
My largest referral has had over $100,000 worth of work done to his home. I heard about this program through Councilman Jack Young.
Yeah.
And again, Baltimore has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Just got to know where the resources
Yeah.
are. And had the opportunity to get involved with a grant that provided distant learning to Afro-Honduran communities. And there, I realized, and the professor that I was working with on the project sort of schooled me on the African diaspora.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
how many people of African descent are in the Americas and have been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Like I did not know until then, there were 180 million people of African descent in Brazil.
Yeah. And this is prior to slavery.
Right. And I started reaching out to some of the prominent Afro-Brazilian leaders. And I ran across a gentleman by the name of Abdias do Nascimento. Abdias do Nascimento is an Afro-Brazilian. He's the first Afro-Brazilian elected to their Senate. First Afro-Brazilian elected to their House of Delegates. Had been fighting, now check this out, been fighting for the civil rights of blacks in Brazil and throughout Latin America and Africa. He started in 1928. Now this was around 2002. So I says, gee, I want to meet this guy. I want him to give the keynote speech for this grant. Morgan at Juan for this Afro-Honduran community. And so, and it was a grant through United Negro College Fund. We had a meeting one day in D.C. in preparation for the grant, et cetera, et cetera. And I literally ran into this guy at the front door. We were going from one building to the other. And I said, excuse me, sir, I apologize for stepping on the back of his heel. And I said, gee, you have an accent. Where are you from? He said, Brazil. I said,
so did you know him already?
No. Never seen the guy.
Oh, so okay.
I saw him.
You weren't trying to give him the funky fake out like you don't know who he is.
I only met him one time in life.
Okay.
Bumped into him. He acknowledged the fact that he was from Brazil.
Okay.
I asked him, did he know Abdias do Nascimento? I said, because I've been trying to reach him. I want to invite him to be a keynote speaker for this event that I'm having. He says, no, I don't know him, but I know his wife. I said, what? Do you mind giving me? He said, take my card. And to make a long story short, Abdias died when he was 97 years old. Okay. I met him, his wife, Elisa. We became friends. I invited him to meet. I met other people through this effort. John Franklin of the Smithsonian, because I wanted to organize an art exhibit. Because, not only was he a politician, he's an educator, painter, sculptor. He's who I call Mr. Man. I call him Mr. Renaissance. And this is all in line with you never know who you're going to meet, and you'll never know what you're going to learn from a person. And that's what I learned from Abdias. Never give up. This guy never stopped fighting for the rights of blacks throughout the world. He's honored in Nigeria. He's honored in Angola. He's honored in Mozambique. He's honored all over Latin America and the world. He met his wife, Elisa, when he was in exile from the country in over a 10-year period. He met her in New York. There he was teaching African diaspora studies. He never stopped fighting, never stopped educating black people on the struggle.
That's what it's about.
This is an old man befriending the younger one. He said, sure. What an honor. I mean, it's like calling up, if Martin Luther King Jr. lived, calling him up and saying, will you come speak at my event?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll help you out.
The cosign.
I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had professors at Morgan. You have who coming here?
Wow.
You in contact with who? Jimmy, do you know how famous this guy is?
Yeah.
A legacy of 80 years, 90 years. This man had been fighting for the civil rights since he was like 20 years old, 18 years old.
Yeah.
He was a playwright. He formed the first Afro-Brazilian acting guild. He organized them. He performed plays. He wrote plays. Artist, painter, sculptor, politician.
Yeah.
But no.
So there's nothing, and if you in poor Brazil, he come from a poor family.
Oh, absolutely.
Making sure he come from an affluent family.
No,
and
no,
had that,
no.
that little.
He had his struggles. He was in exile, like I said.
Yeah.
The country was like, hey, you stay here, you go to prison. And he left and couldn't come back for like 10 or 12 years.
So he was basically like Joe of Brazil.
Right. right.
Yeah. Right. So, and I always use the reference of Joe, just for the simple the story of that, he had so much, he had so great potential, and then he met the devil while he was incarcerated.
Right.
And then the devil had tried to coerce him into turning against God. Now I look at it as the devil was the negative part of self that was trying to convince him that it ain't no good in the world. They become hopeless and things of that, that we internally go through, those struggles. And then once you never give up on yourself, once you never give up on your God, you get everything back tenfold. And you become that much stronger, that much come from the bottom. It's a lot of times difficult for just the average Joe to really get up to a person like you and they actually, sit back and pick your brain about life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've helped volunteers. Volunteers is what I call blemishes on their records.
Yeah.
That is, they have a felony.
Yeah.
And you know how difficult it is to get a job
That's why
when you have a felony on your record.
Yeah.
Well, I work with employers. I work with other partners. So that those that come to help me, I basically try to help them.
So you the middleman.
I'm the broker. I am the broker.
Yeah, that's your title, the broker.
I'm the broker. Yes.
That's what's up.
And these are people that have redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
They have turned their lives around. They have good work ethics, good skills, that they can be a benefit to any employee.
Now, do they get the opportunity to come into school and share their experiences like we was talking about upstairs with the kids?
Oh yeah. Just like I gave you the open invite.
Yes,
I screen and then
yes, I'm with it.
then I'm ready to turn you over to the children.
Like I said, my thing is I have to give back. I don't know if my man Gregory told you about me and my health ordeal that I went through. I was in prison for 10.5 years for drugs, narcotics distribution, and I wound up getting sick. I was a welder, and I got sick off of inhaling the metal particles. It attacked my heart, pneumonia. It blew up my left ventricle. I went to cardiac arrest. They medevaced me from Hagerstown to shock trauma here in Baltimore. They was getting me ready to go to the morgue, and I woke up. I had to reteach myself how to talk. I had to reteach myself how to walk. You know what I mean? I have a pacemaker defibrillator in my chest now. You know what I mean? Life threw everything at me, including death, and I beat it. Me and them are gonna meet again one day. Right. But I can say that I beat death that one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm here now, and I look to relay to kids, to relay to adults. Let's stop putting useless energy to things at the end of the day doesn't really matter. It's all about the growth and benefit of humanity. And we dealing with this place we call America. We have to get to a level where people are not scared anymore. That all the rhetoric is gone. That we can just deal with open and honest facts. Because at the end of the day, if we turn out the light and nobody's seeing our faces, you wouldn't know what race we are. I mean, other than the voice reflection, but you wouldn't know what race we are. All you would do is listen to the identifiable qualities that we all share as humans. Now, this year is my first year voting. You know what I mean? I said I'm going to take it serious. I can't sit back and not be a part of what my ancestors died for. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You know, even if it's symbolic.
Right.
I did it because somebody died for me to do so. You know what I mean? Somebody died in order for us to sit in McDonald's next to somebody's wife. You know what I mean? Right. Well, we'll do that casually, but we won't go and vote because it's a little discomfort. No, we have to start putting people in place that is going to work for us. And if we don't see anybody, then this is the time where we start nurturing our children into becoming those people. This is my nation. I'm the king of my nation. I have to build it up. It's incumbent upon me to build it up or die trying. Right. And whatever you do, you don't necessarily, I don't have to put forth the same academia as you do. You play your part, but I play my part. Right. And we want to make the child that much more well-rounded.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we get mad at each other because we feel as though that this brother or this sister is supposed to be where we at in our understandings. That's what makes us individuals. We have different understandings, different perceptions, different ways that we move about in our life, which is our culture. This is our religion. This is what we do every day. You know what I'm saying? This is what guides us. So instead of trying to belittle what I see as my truth, just take the time to learn it and it'll broaden your truth. Because now your truth is, instead of being linear and one-dimensional, now it got layers to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a prism. It's going to, you turn a prism around, it's going to show you different colors and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where we have to be as black men, as educators in our respective fields. You know, I look to use this as a means of educating our people because everybody is on social media. This right here, this man right here is an architect of success. And people look like, well, he ain't on no Donald Trump, he ain't got a billion, he went to war. He has way more than Donald Trump because he has the mind of our future.
There you go.
The most potent natural resource, the resource that they've been stealing from since we've been on this side of the earth. You know what I mean? They've been stealing from this natural resource from the beginning. So he nurtures that. So he's way more wealthier than Donald Trump or anybody that done came out of Wharton. You know what I mean? So I wanna thank everybody that done tuned in with the love. I'm seeing the hearts just popping and popping. Thank you, Dorothy. You know, and you know, just spread this because this message definitely need to be heard. You know what I mean? It definitely need to be heard from somebody who's in the fight. You know, I don't want to hear from a spectator about a fight.
There you go.
Right. I
So
want to
true.
know. Yeah, I want to know from Mike Tyson himself. How did that punch feel?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm so honored by this moment, and I hope that I'm sure that this moment is going to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
Further. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So this is just the beginning, and we're going to continue to grow on, know on, and so on. You know what I mean? I love all y'all peoples. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tune this out. Next time I put this on, when I'm down here, I'm gonna be in front of these daggone boys. I'm gonna be in front of these boys, and we gonna put it out to the world how they act. Now, if they're gonna act like a bunch of little dumb savages, or they gonna act like young men who can control themselves, you know what I mean, as they showing their images out to the world, how they want the world to perceive them. You know, and that's where it's gonna start now. So I want to thank y'all. I love y'all. You know what I mean, share this. I know people gonna be like, yo, it's long as hell. But I'm gonna truncate it, put it into a nice little video package, and we're gonna push this because it's a great message and it's something that really needs to be heard. So, peace. This is who again?
Jimmy Mitchell.
Oh man, hey, it just rolls off the tongue. Jimmy Mitchell. All right, peace, y'all. What is your perception of what is actually being woke? Like I was stating earlier, I mean, because a lot of us think that being woke is just, quoting a lot of black mantra and not reading a lot of history and being able to, recite like parrots, the information that they've retained. My thing, with being woke goes further beyond that. My thing is, being woke is not just being woke about the black experience, because if you truly woke about the black experience, then black experience is the root to every other racial experience out there, every other family within the spectrum of humanity. You know what I mean? So I just can't say I'm woke and only deal with me. You know what I mean? I can't deal with just my people. If I'm woke, I'm truly woke, then I understand that these people, these different races, these different cultures, these different civilizations, these different societies, these different mindsets, all have root in black. All have root in black. You know what I'm saying? So my woke goes beyond just that mid-surface woke of, like I said, just being able to quote things and know the recitations of a Marcus Garvey, or Malcolm X, or Martin Luther, or all these M's, and some science in that. You know what I mean? And those are the things that we really have to sit back and acknowledge. Who is actually woke? Because to me, everyone serves a purpose in being woke. And everybody is going to see a degree of wokeness on their own level. Now, your level might not necessarily coincide with my level of wokeness, but I'm not going to disrespect your level of woke. You know what I mean? You might have only walked up to the highest heights of your environment and the information that you gathered. And this is where we get lost. We get caught up in a bunch of not paying attention to our oppressor. We worried about these little factions, which you're supposed to worry about the factions, but the big global oppressive scheme, you have to pay attention to, and how to dismantle it piece by fucking piece. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to go for the head of the organization. You'll never get to the head unless you attack the body first. That's what they teach you in boxing. You go to the body, it brings their hand down, exposes the head, then you can take the head out. You know what I mean? Because people automatically expect that you're going for the headshot. So they already prepared for it. You know what I mean? And that's how we got to move. We have to move in accordance with what's going to build us up as a unit. You know what I mean? Whether it's just in our own household, because it always starts in your household. Well, it starts with yourself first. You know what I mean? You have to work with yourself first, but then you have to fix you and your environment, which is your household. And then it emanates outside the household to your community. And then it's your city. And then it's your state. And then it's your country. And then it's your continent. And then it's the globe. And then it's the universe as a whole. We have that type of power. We always had that type of power. That's our connection to the universe. That's this beautiful black skin that we share. We share a beautiful melanin that connects us to the universe. And we don't even understand the magnitude of our power once we truly tune the fuck in and stop becoming so angry and upset about shit that really at the end of the day does not matter. What another person does should not matter to you to the point where you lose your purpose. You lose your goal. You don't allow nobody to get in the way of you and your goal. You know what I mean? You got to keep it moving. You got to keep it trucking. You got to keep it constantly motivation and constant elevation. Everything you're supposed to do is strive to the top. Whatever you see is the top. And then once you reach the top, then you create another level that you need to go. You should never be happy with the level that you're at. Never. Gods and goddesses never happy where they at. That's why the universe is steady expanding, because it's never happy at where it's at. It got to grow. Our bodies grow because our bodies aren't happy where it's presently at when it's in the infantile stage, because it feels as though it can master even more. And we're going to master until we die. And then when we die, our energy that goes back into the universe is going to master and come into another form. And then it's going to go through a similar process of growth and development. So that's woke. Understanding that, to me, is woke. But again, I see things in a peripheral aspect. I just don't see in front of me. I see all around. You know, the third eye has that like owl vision and shit. You know what I mean? So everybody needs to get on a level where we seeing all the way around us. We paying attention to what the fuck's going on all around us. And we stop what the fuck is going on all around us that is detrimental to our movement. We have so many things that's detrimental to our movement, and we do not go at it because we're scared of being either disappointed or just uncomfortable. Because it's uncomfortable talking to motherfuckers you don't know. You know, I'm a mentor, so I know how it is. You know what I'm saying? You go up to little young motherfuckers and they looking at you like, man, what this old motherfucker got to say? Then I sit down and talk to them and I give them relatable experiences like, yo, I'm you in some years if you don't get your shit together. And I'm you at a point that you can actually build yourself up now, because if you listen to what I'm saying, then you can avoid a lot of the dumb shit that caused me to go through the trials and tribulations of life in order for me to get where I'm at now. I'm giving you a cheat sheet in essence. You know what I mean? Everybody around you gives you a cheat sheet to life. Even the stupidest person. The dumbest person. And only dumb means that you don't know. Stupid is that you know, but you do otherwise, regardless of consequence or not. We have to pay attention to what the fuck's going on. That's being woke. And in America, you have to pay attention to the politics. Just not ghetto politics. Just not suburban politics, rural politics. You know what I mean? But global politics, man. This is a sick game out there, man. And we all pawns to the motherfucking game. Believe that. But it's up to each individual person to really sit back and figure out how they're going to play the game, or how their pieces is going to be manipulated. Are you going to move your pieces, or are you going to allow somebody else to move your pieces for you? That's where you had to figure it out. That's exactly where it lies at. Is somebody else is going to move you around, or are you going to move yourself around using your logic, using your intellectual analysis of everything that's around you? Or are you going to allow somebody else to use that intellectual analysis of everything around them and don't understand that we're emotional, passionate people? You know what I mean? I can get you at your emotions and move you where I need you to play. That's the game. So for those who think that we're not a part of the game, we're definitely part of the game. But it's how you want to be played. Knowing and understand that you're a part of the game and figuring out the game itself, then you start to take ownership of your own piece. And your own piece comes down to just educating yourself as much as possible. Really being awoke. Waking yourself up to what the fuck is going on and actually becoming a proactive participant in changing shit.
My country, 'tis a thing.